Playing the Radical Latino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands in the air for New York's very own.
Radical Latino is taking you to another level.
Yeah, welcome back, my people. Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Latino Show. It's your host, the Radical Latino. What is poppin', my people? Today I got a very special episode for you guys. You guys already read the title and all that. You know, you probably don't know who I'm going to be talking to. Probably do know who I'm going to be talking to. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I want to just give a big shout out to all my new listeners. You know what I'm saying? Every other week or two, I actually go back into the algorithm of the podcast and I see how many downloads I got and how many new listeners I got. And let me tell you guys, first of all, I did not know that I was actually popping in places in all over the country. First of all, Canada? God damn, what the fuck? Shout out to y'all. Alright, cool. You know, I'm popping in Canada. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Guatemala, but all the people up in these are the top 5 cities that's been listening to me. Top 5: Florida, Michigan, New York, California, Hawaii. Top 5. I'm getting damn near 100 plus downloads on each city, you know what I'm saying, each state. So shout out to you guys, everybody in Florida, you know, shout out to y'all. Everybody in Michigan, shout out to y'all. Everybody in New York, everybody in California, shout out to y'all. Everybody in Hawaii, shout out to y'all. You know, I couldn't do it without you guys. Also, the reason is because your boy, yes, me, the Radical Latino, you know what I'm saying, your boy just hit 2,000 downloads. Oh my god. Yeah, let's give it a round of applause. Yeah, that's all for you guys, all from you. You know, word of mouth, spreading my name out there and all this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. You know, I couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much. 2K, when I started this shit, I didn't think I was ever gonna get like 1. I was like, nobody's gonna listen to me, but apparently y'all really feeling me. So shout out to you guys. Thank you very much. And now I just want to basically just get into this whole episode. So Andrew 26101, right? He's somebody I wasn't really aware of until I saw somebody making a commentary video on one of his videos, and then I started following him and I was like, oh shit, he got some pretty insightful things to say. You know, I was really feeling how he was you know, bringing out his thoughts on certain things and his commentary on certain things. So I was really feeling that. I'm like, all right, I should maybe, I don't know, maybe I should bring him into the podcast and see what happens. And I just fucking threw a curveball at it. I was like, fuck it, let's just see if this shit hits. And it hit, you know, and he was interested, you know, he heard about me and all that, and then from there we just started, you know, we did this episode, you know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to give a big shout out and warm welcome to Andrew 26101. Hope you guys enjoy it. Yo, what's poppin', my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Latino Show. It's your host, the Radical Latino. Now I have a very special guest with me today. My dude from the Bronx. Give a big warm shout out welcome to Andrew Show 26101. What's poppin', bro?
What's going on, Play? How you doing?
Just chilling. Thank you for coming on and stuff. You know, just wanted to, you know, give a big shout out to you. You know, you actually came on and all that, and you know, I'm glad that we're able to talk and to actually do this. You know?
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, so tell the people a little bit about yourself, bro. Like how what's your ethnicity, you know, where you come from, and you know, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Andrew Show, originally from the Bronx, raised up out there on 227 and Gun Hill, Prospect area. Then I moved to the Westchester County area. I moved to Mount Vernon. A few years later, I'm down here in the good old sunny state of Florida. So what else you want to know? Where I'm from?
Yeah. Like, how long were you living in the Bronx for?
Well, I've been living in the Bronx for like 17 years.
Jesus.
And yeah, about 17 years. So 17, 18 years, something like that. So and then I moved down here to Florida because at the time growing up, it was pretty rough. So I was trying to get out of that environment. So my parents were able to get me out of that situation. Now, as far as my ethnicity goes, I am West Indian, Jamaican descent. Both of my parents are from the Caribbean. On my mother's side, it's some parts Cuban and West Indian descent. And my father's Jamaican. So,
is it safe to say that you're Afro-Latino or no?
I've never really used those terms. I mean, I've heard about it, but I never really used those terms because, I mean, I just really consider myself as being black because I was born in this country. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I identify myself as.
Okay.
That's my skin color and all that.
Gotcha. Now, the real reason why I got Andrew here today is because he did basically a live stream about the whole Gina Rodriguez situation, right? I didn't know who he was, but some other people, you know what I'm saying? Some other people made commentary on it, which got me introduced to you. You know what I'm saying? So, before we get into all of that, right? Let's, I want to really gauge the whole conversation. What is your thoughts on? No, not your thoughts. I'm sorry. I'll do that later. But when did you start doing YouTube?
Well, I started YouTube back in 2008. That's what got me started. But what really got me started was going through change life and experiences, being single as a man. So what I started to do is I started to make videos based on my life experiences. So that's what really got me more attentive to my YouTubers, like the people who've been following me since 2008. Because I started off talking about my life, things I've been through growing up, situations at hand. I talked from anything from racism to favoritism to the workplace, like anything in situations that humans go through. You know what I mean? Fair to say.
Yeah.
So it was just coming from my perspective as a human being. And I said, you know what? Let me just throw it out there and let me see if people can connect with me and understand where I'm coming from. And throughout that situation, I've had people who were going through, the same situations as I was going through, dealing with discrimination, dealing with favoritism. So that's when I started to connect with my audience. And then throughout some periods of time, I started, doing more news articles, reading up on things that are related to kind of like what we're going through in life. So we kind of reflect on maybe, let's just face it, be real, like the dumb shit that celebrities do.
Yeah.
And we say to ourselves, we wouldn't really do that if we had all that money, but really and truly, we've never been in that position to know that. You know what I mean? Just think about it. If everybody has gotten $1 million, let's just safely say like $1 million is a lot of money. To celebrities, is not. To normal people like me and you, that's a lot of freaking money.
Yeah.
So we got to value that money. At least that's what we think we would. But if we're in that position, we don't know how we can become as people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you.
So I put it out there, and that's what I did. And, I had some people connected with me with real life changing experiences, and they like what I had to say. Now, as far as the Nina Rodriguez situation?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know her, who she was at first, until I started to see the whole buzz that was going on the internet. People saying, oh, she's using the N-word and yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, all right, well, let me check this out. because I don't want to just be on a, oh, I hate this woman, or she's racist, da 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 da. Like that was all. My whole mindset was like, all right, let me find out what's the whole commotion, the whole craziness about.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing, with the whole Popeyes chicken shit. When everybody went crazy over that chicken.
Yeah.
That's my whole situation. I'm like, all right, I want to see why everybody's going crazy over this Popeye chicken, or why is everybody making a fuss over the Nina Rodriguez situation. So I was like, all right. So I checked it out, and I listened to the Fuji song. Now, mindless to say, I don't know this woman. Okay, I don't know her before this whole scandal happened. So I started to read up on current events. So when I read up on what she said, I was like, oh, okay, well, she was just singing a song. Like, what, to me, in my mind, I was just like, why is everybody tripping over it? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
In that perspective, in that current situation, my whole thing was like, I didn't make it as a big deal, because the reason is for that is I grew up in the South Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up around Hispanic people. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I had food with Hispanic people, especially Puerto Ricans. I grew up around Puerto Ricans. One of my best friends, he's Puerto Rican. I went over to his family's house. His family's cooking the pasteles.
Mm-hmm.
With the ketchup and shit. Shit is good as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was having food over their houses while my friend would also come over my house and have food. Like, oh yeah, we call this in Spanish, and da 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 da. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Mm.
So through that environment of growing up around Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans, we lived in the area. Now, the area I lived in wasn't the most developed area in the world. You know what I'm saying? I lived in the projects. I'm going to be real with you. So I started out there.
Gotcha.
When I was out there, we didn't see no black, white, Spanish, or nothing, or Asian.
That's a fact.
We
saw
each other as people.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
The only thing, and that's another, that's, me coming from the Bronx also. Yeah, so that's a fact. The only thing is, whenever we did see white people, that's when we were like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on?
No, I'm going to be real with you. I didn't see white people until I moved to Florida. I know that sounds funny as shit.
Yeah.
Like, I used to see white people, like, on television shows.
Yeah.
And, like, Full House,
For real?
Full House and shit.
That's wild. Like, the only time I've ever seen white folks in the Bronx.
Manhattan, probably Manhattan.
Yeah, the only time I ever see white folks is Manhattan, or they were cops. That's about it. That's all white people in my neighborhood, was that we saw them cops, So whenever we saw a white person that's not a cop, we were like, wait a minute, the fuck?
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah,
yeah. Fuck you up. Yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So my bad, bro. So like throughout that situation, right? Like growing up, being around Latinos and mostly blacks and Latinos, and there's a few Italians here and there that stayed in our block, and there was some Asian people too that was in the projects. So growing up through the projects and going into the suburban areas, it was pretty much the same, no matter where you were in New York. That's the environment I grew up on.
Yeah.
So when I look at a Hispanic person, and not trying to come off as being racist or nothing like that, but I don't see them as a white person. Like the way I see white people in certain, just how they move. Like certain things is like, okay, I can't really be like this because I don't want to offend anybody, but if I be like that around my own peoples, or whoever I grew up with, that's that nigga, he just playing around.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see, we get our own sarcasm because we know we joking around.
Yeah.
Now, certain things we may say to white folks, they may not get that sarcasm.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And I've been around, and I've been in the hood. And in the hood, you got all different types of colors. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
So even going from there, even to the suburban areas in New York, I grew up around different nationalities.
Yeah. Now knowing that we're both from the same place, the Bronx, different locations in the Bronx, we still share somewhat the same experience, right? growing up like that and you putting out your content, why do you think people come at you, saying that, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about, you're not educated enough, these trolls? Why do you think these trolls come at you because of the things that you actually say based on your experiences?
Well, you got to understand that with trolls, they don't come from the world I come from.
Mm.
So a troll's going to say anything based on what I say is a negative.
Mm.
And that's totally acceptable because they don't come from the world I come from. So their perception of what they think of me is media outlets.
Ah, okay.
So whatever they see on the media, mainstream media, oh, that's that guy because he fits the description.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't let that influence me.
Yeah.
Because the moment you let that type of energy, we can keep it real. That is some sort of it is a white supremacy ideology.
Okay.
Because that's ways of programming a person's mindset, a person's thought process, into thinking, well, these people don't know what they're talking about because I was taught this. But in a way, you were born in different parts of the universe.
See, now that's very interesting that you say something like that. That's very interesting because there's two things that I want to talk about. Obviously, you said that that's a very popular white supremacist concept, right? And also that these people grew up in a different, environment, different location, and all that, right? Now, I'm gonna ask you one question on each. Why do you think some Latin folks, think differently from the Latin folks from New York opposed to the Latin folks from California? Because when I went to California, I didn't see the same unification that I saw in New York. You know what I'm saying? Is it an East Coast, West Coast, down South thing? Or like, what is your theory?
To be quite honest with you, man, I just think it's just the environment where you come from. Because, you could be on the West Coast and come from the projects and still grew up with the same people who are all different nationalities. There's different levels to this shit. You feel me? Because you could be in the suburb area and you could have different nationalities of people, but still think whoever is lower than them, no matter what race they are, don't have the intelligence and the smarts to be where I'm at because they're lower than me. But really and truly, we could all kind of learn from each other. You ever heard the term street smarts?
Of course.
Right? Now, do you know anybody who lives in a rich suburban or high-class area has street smarts?
Oh, hell no. They're the first one to get got.
Exactly. My point exactly. That's why we can learn from each other. So the rich man that's in a certain situation, he wouldn't know what to do. But I'll tell you what, that lower class man can. Please believe that. Because he's got street smarts.
Okay.
And I think what it is with certain people too, even with trolls, they have that mindset that they're rich within the mind because society puts a platform to want to be in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See now that goes to my second question right there. That goes to my second question. The whole white supremacist mentality, because you said, that comes from a white supremacist mentality and stuff. The way I see it is that, especially from, some of these Latin folks like Antonio Batista. I don't know if you're aware of him. I call him Butthead, but people,
wow.
yeah. People like him, right? People like him who, get indoctrinated, right? Live in the same neighborhoods that these people live in the same conditions that, those people in that area live in, still get indoctrinated and then starts to associate any negative altercation or any negative action based on what they already got indoctrinated and perceived those certain type of people of doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you get these motherfuckers talking about low IQ and all this other shit. Yeah, people are more violent and all this other stupid shit, which makes no sense and isn't true. So, do you think that once you have an exposure to that white supremacist mentality, and then you reinforce all of that with news articles and all this other stuff, and not really going out there to find opposing views, do you think that's a big reason why most of these people, especially in the Latin community, end up being, wild racist and all that?
Well, I can't really speak for the whole Latin community, because I mean, like I said, you know what I'm saying, I'm black, so it's a little bit hard for me to really touch on that. But like I can say,
I can say it. Don't worry about it. I can say it. Don't worry about it.
What happened?
I said I can say it. Don't worry about it. I can say it.
No, ain't nothing bad. No, ain't nothing bad. No. But what I'm saying is, I can't really speak for a handful of people and just say, well, yeah, it's their fault and shit. There's a lot to this. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like we've just been really mentally enslaved by a lot of things, especially what the media puts out for what people to portray to be. I mean, my best thing to do, my best advice is just to ignore it. Just ignore it, observe it, know what it's all about, and just ignore it. Because at the end of the day, it's like a cancer. If you keep reacting to something, what's going to happen? It's just going to keep getting bigger. You got to find a cure to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So the cure thing is just to ignore the shit, and eventually it's going to die off. Just like this, when you leave a plant outside and you don't give no water for it, what's going to happen? It's going to die eventually. Yeah. Well, your water is your knowledge. Your water is your wisdom. Yeah. Use your water as your knowledge and your wisdom. Don't put no water on black roses in the garden.
Yeah.
Something you ought to think about.
Gotcha. Now, so I know me and you've been talking, off the record, and me and you had some conversations and stuff, which is very interesting to know that you got a Dominican shorty. So how did that come about?
I mean, the thing about it is, man, it's a big communication issue with the father and all that.
Yeah.
But I got a friend who speaks Spanish very fluently. So, he's with me and all that. So I was able to translate, see what the father was doing and all that. But I mean, even my girl, she speaks quite good English too. So my homie was with me, and, we just popped it off ever since. I mean, I'll tell you what, man, on some real stuff, they weren't living in the best conditions.
Yeah.
And those people were so happy, bro. So happy. And I enjoyed the company, y'all. We just sat down, drank an El Presidente, laughed, played some bachata and shit.
Yeah.
It was mad family like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had some steamed white rice and some plantanos,
Yeah.
So shit was good, man. It was more family like. So I really enjoyed the experience,
That's what's
being
up.
out there.
That's what's up. Now let me just go and focus on the real reason why I even got you here, the whole Gina Rodriguez. Even though we already touched base on it just a little bit, but I want to dive right into it. Yeah, I want to dive. I want to dive right into it. Now, some of the comment section on some of these people who did commentary on your stuff, or some of the comment section on your videos or whatever, I was seeing a very, very popular theme talking about that, well, Latin people aren't black, Latin people aren't, shouldn't say it, or some people saying Latin people aren't black and Latin people should say it. There was a very, there was some confusion there, but there was a very big popular, thing to say Latin people aren't black. On your video, you basically said, listen, Latin people are black. So we could understand a little bit more. why do you say that Latin people are black? Like, what made you come to that conclusion?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say I indirectly say Latin people are black, but I just say a lot of them have African DNA. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're all black, but, you know, I know that, you know, some have Taino, Indian, you know, European, Eurocentric. I mean, I'm very much aware that African Americans have the same thing too. Black people in different nationalities in different countries also have different DNA in them too. I mean, that's how the universe is all connected.
Yeah.
Really and truly. Everybody's got something in them. So when I hear when people say, oh, well, I'm mixed, it makes me scratch my head like, okay, but I may have some European in my background. Let me go ahead and do that family DNA shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I found out, oh, shoot, I'm 2% Asian. I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't know I was all this shit. Like, people are doing a family tree now. You know, a DNA joint, and they're all surprised. Like, damn, I didn't know I had this in me.
Yeah. See,
So,
now
if
that
people want to question my doubt, just, hey, do the family tree DNA.
that's the thing. That's the funny thing. That you see some of these people with 70-60% European, and they start claiming themselves to be white when they're not 100%. You know what I'm saying? They have a mixture of everything else, but they're not 100%. But yet they still claim that white part. You know what I mean? It's like black folks, you know, doing the same thing, having you know, having 10 or 30% European blood, and then they go, oh shit, you know, I'm white. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense. So usually I go based on the white supremacist perception, because let's keep it real. White supremacy, you know, controls this country, and they classify who's white and who's not. White people know who's white. Let's keep it real. White people know who's white. You could be the lightest.
But you know, but you know what though? Like, I think when people say white, they get kind of, or black or whatever. I think they get kind of confused with color and nationality. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Because white could be in different nationalities, bro.
Of course.
You could be white. You could be white Colombian, white Brazilian, white Dominican.
Of course. But this is where this is where
and shit.
No, of course. There's white Africans. You know, like I
white
get it.
Africans, like,
yeah,
shit.
I get it.
So what I'm saying is, if a person feels that they're more of that percentage of that color, and they say, "Well, I'm white," then I'm like, "Okay, you are what you look." Like, I'm not even gonna fight that, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna feed into that energy. Know what?
But you want to hear something crazy? This is the thing, though. This is the thing.
I used to do that, but
no. See, this is the thing. You got some examples of white-looking folks like Sean King telling you, "Yo, I'm not white. I'm black." You know what I'm saying? You got some examples like that. So the
well, I mean, he looks black.
well, that's what I'm going at. That's what I'm going at.
Yeah,
look
I'm going at the color.
Well, look, that's what I'm going at. Look at Antonio, right? Let's just focus on this stupid motherfucker right now. Look at Antonio. Man. He yeah, well, you know, fuck that guy. But
shit.
But look at Antonio. He got white skin, right? But not all the way. It's not all the way pale, right? But he got light skin, right? But yet he doesn't look white. He doesn't look Anglo. But yet this motherfucker still says, I white. I know black papi. I white. You know what I'm saying? And now this is the thing.
I never heard of the dude. To be honest with you.
Oh,
I mean, I heard
I'll send you some links, bro.
Video.
I'll send don't worry. I'll send you some links, bro. Don't worry, I got you. Yeah. But yeah, no, he looked like he got Down syndrome or something. Anyway, listen. So no, so he claims that he's white, even though he's only 77% white. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I was going at is, since white people know who's white and know who's black and all that, and they're the ones who classified who's white and who's not, and they have a classification, you know, rule, basically the one drop rule.
They actually do.
The one drop rule.
White people actually call the shots of who's black.
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Real with you, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They have something called the one drop rule, which classifies who's black and who's not. Now,
Man, you go out there, man. I'm telling you, you go out there committing a crime, and they're gonna judgeify who's black and who's white.
exactly, real
And
easy.
even if you're not black,
Real
they're gonna
easy.
judge you in that category.
Real easy, yeah. So now, based on
If you're not white.
based on that category, right, of the one drop rule, and you know all of that, right? One drop rule and all that. Based on that category, why do you still have people like Butthead over here still claiming white, even though, chronologically, if we're going to go based on this rule, he's classified as not white. Why? What is your theory? Why do you think so?
Well, personally, I don't know the guy, so I mean, I'm not gonna talk all types of crazy shit about him, just keeping it real. But just, I mean, I've heard a couple of his videos. I think I know what you're talking about. But I think what it is shit. I mean, I guess that's what he goes by. I mean, he feels, if that's how he feels, if he feels he's white, then I guess he's white. But I mean, not everybody's going to perceive him to be that way. I mean, he's got to have to learn that. I've seen the features on the guy. I mean, yeah, I could see the European features. I see that. But, I could, Europeans also, Italians got big noses, right? Not saying the guy has a big nose. I'm just saying, like, that Italian men are known for having big nose. Like, I don't know if you ever heard that expression?
I just know that white people got big nose. I never heard that Italian.
Yeah. Well, Italians have big nose. It's like they say, black people got big feet and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's all a concept, But anyways, so I mean, he might have Italian in his family. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Some Italians, they got African descent in their family too.
Gotcha. Okay.
But, like, that's just something that listen, I don't know if he did a DNA test and he's, if he's got an accurate reading or not. Like I said, I can't really talk about the guy. I don't know him like that. But if he has that ideology, then, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, he's going to have that mindset.
I'll send you his first video because he did have a DNA test result, and it came out that he's 72% Spaniard, 25%.
Oh shit.
25% sub-Saharan 25% sub-Saharan African, and I think 15%, was it 15% or something like that? 15% native. You know what I mean? So he just started claiming white. That's it. He just started claiming white, and I'm like,
but natives were slaves too with blacks.
Yeah, because they were
they had babies too.
They were called
Indian black people.
They were called negro, interchangeably with black folks. So there was no difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, in my background, West Indian, bro. I come from that bloodline, bro.
Yeah. Of
Indians and blacks.
Yeah. We're cousins.
But the thing is, everybody's got something in them, man. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand. Like, even with, I talked about with the Spaniard pirates, I mean, we just got to be real. They had sex with black women, too. They had babies. Those babies came out mixed and shit, and they were on the lands.
Yeah.
So that's why you see that colorism too. You see different types of colors in different parts of the Hispaniola Islands.
See, now this is what I want to get into. This is what I want to get into. When you go to these islands and you see different shades of black, right, or even lighter shades of white, and all this other stuff, like to be completely honest, the people who are out there personally, that I think who are white are the ones who don't have no black or native genes. Yeah. From there, they're white.
I agree with you.
They're white.
Agree with you. They're more European. European centric.
Yeah, they're white. But the people who
they're more European.
Yeah, the people who are actually lighter, but not Anglo. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They're not. That's the way I see it. They're not white. You know what I'm saying? Because they got some black features. You got light skinned girls in DR with big ass donks on them. You be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Walking around with big ass booties and all that, and then you got.
See, that's where the Indian from the ancient, from the we talk about like back in the day things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's where you have more of the Indian blood and the Negro blood. They're as slaves.
Yeah.
And the Spaniards were there, and they taught them Spanish, but they also inbreeded with the Africans and the Indians.
Yeah.
The shit is crazy. Like European, Eurocentric blood and Afro blood and Indian blood is like it's all mixed up in this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like people don't understand. Like everybody's got something in them, and that's what when I say that, people look at me like, huh?
Yeah, because
Even the darkest people.
I think
I've seen dark-skinned people with green natural eyes.
Oh yeah. I told
and
people
streaks here.
I told people
that shit is crazy.
I told people this. I said, if you guys want to see what a human being will look like, generations of just mixing, you'll get Latin people.
Shit.
You'll get Latin people. That's it. That's what you get. You will get Latin people. You'll get, black, a mixture of black, white, Asian, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you will get like Latin people. Trust me, I confused some people. I'm for real. I confused.
Latin people or they mix, so they're black and white.
Yeah, like I confused some
crazy.
people. I confused some biracial people who are mixed with black and white and some Asian. I confuse them as Latin.
Yeah, you can. It's
yeah, I confuse them as Latin, and they're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, but I would think some girls are like, you mix, you black and white. Oh no, I'm black and Puerto Rican. Or the other ones would say like, no, I'm not Puerto Rican, I'm black. And you're like, what?
yeah.
You look Latino, you look Latina. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
That shit happens.
Word. Now, something else that I wanna get into. What made you get like somewhat educated on this whole concept of race? What made you want to study it? If you did study it, I don't know. But what made you want to like know more about it?
Well, I had a curiosity because growing up, I always saw a lot of hate within my sector of community. You know what I'm saying? When I say my community, I just talk about the people who can relate to me, no matter what color.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of separation there. But so in other words, say that again. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Nah, don't worry about it. Like, what made you want to, study this whole race thing? If you did study it, what made you want to do that? What made you want to actually, look into it?
Well, I mean, I just got tired of people hating on each other. So I just wanted to see what the whole concept was. People always talking shit, hating on each other. Oh, you look like this, you look like that, da 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 da. So when I was living with my moms in the Bronx, right, my mom's told me something. It was kind of crazy. But she's like, yo, you see that girl over there across the street? Like, yeah. I was like, yo, she's in our neighborhood, right? I said, yeah. She said, what color you think she is? I was like, she's white, I guess? No. She's mixed, but she's black. So that mentality was like, okay, well, what do you mean by that? And I'm black myself, so I wanted to think, what you mean by that? We all love each other.
Okay.
So it wasn't necessarily like a race thing. It was more like, it's bad to say this, I'm gonna keep it real. It was more like blacks had the mindset that it was white supremacy destroying everything. The way we think, the way we're supposed to eat, the way we're supposed to look, just more in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it does exist. So from that mindset of seeing things like that, whoever was around me that my mother was saying, that's in the circle, is who I cared about because I was taught that way. Right?
Okay.
But as I got older, my parents also learned certain things being in this country. Is that not everybody that looks like you is going to be for you. Think about that.
That's deep.
Not everybody that looks like you is going to be for you.
That's deep. That's deep. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Go ahead.
And I never understood what she meant until I got older.
Yeah, that's a fact. You got
Never understood.
Yeah, you got little Latin coons out here, you know, talking about some fucking foolery and buffoonery. You got Latin people hating on other Latin people. You got black coons themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you got black people that hate on other black people, talk shit about other black people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, people look at us and they're like, those guys can't get along. But I look at it like this. Y'all can't get along either.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
y'all fucking fighting and shit. We fighting and shit. Like, something's wrong here. Like, why are we all fighting and shit?
Yeah. The way
we fighting for what?
The way I see
what cause?
Yeah, the way I see everything, I see it in the context of white supremacy, because that's what I've been studying this whole time. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot, you know. I always see in the context of white supremacy, and the way I see it is, this is what white supremacy wants. White supremacy wants us to fight amongst each other. White supremacy wants us to keep on, you know, putting each other down, not really combining our numbers and actually combating this white supremacist system that we live in. Once we start doing that, basically, once the slaves start to revolt, then it'll be hard to control us, you know? And there's different ways to control us. It was with Christianity, and then misinformation of education, and then it was the welfare and the Section 8. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of this.
Yeah, but you know, when you say slaves too, I just wanna say something real quick, because some people may misinterpret it. Like if you say, "Oh, we're talking about a black person."
Oh, nah.
Slaves. No, we're talking about people who are mentally slaves.
Yeah, that too.
Like,
that too. Because Latin people,
no matter what color you are,
listen,
mentally slaves.
Listen, Latin people were enslaved also. You know, let's not get it twisted. Christopher Columbus set foot he first set foot and started enslaving people in Dominican Republic. So let's keep it real. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real. But that's what I'm talking about. Mentally enslaved, because that whole lineage of slavery, Latin or black, has not gone away. You know what I'm saying? Has not gone away,
bro. That shit is sad.
That thing is still
really sad, bro.
Unfortunately, that thing is still a culture. You know, that's a embedded culture. That's a toxic culture that's still in us. You know, that's why you got some Latin people talking about mejorando la raza, bettering the race. That didn't come out of nowhere. That came because of the Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you something. I got a question for you, right?
What up?
Because the whole word Latino X, is that what it's called? Latino X?
I don't say Latinx. That, to me, that's stupid. But yeah, what about it?
I just want to know. I didn't know what that meant though. Like, I was kind of confused with that.
I'm gonna give you the history of it. Latinx started because of the LGBT community, right? They started saying it because Latino and Latina are usually interchangeable within sex, masculine and feminine. You know, the LGBT community said that is somewhat, you know, that's a little, you know, sexist. You should say Latinx, and then for some reason, some stupid ass reason, everybody and their mother is saying Latinx. Shut the fuck up. If you want to identify,
so it's like a feminist type of movement.
Yeah, it was dumb. If you really wanna identify Latin people, just say Latin people. If somebody looks masculine, oh, that's a Latino. If someone looks feminine, that's a Latina. That's it. But
see, that's where it got confused a little bit, because it was like, okay, with some blacks, you know, they're thinking like, okay, well, if you're darker, you're Afro-Latino. But then you got some that are darker say, no, I'm white. So that kind of throws us off a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, okay, so
it doesn't. It's not supposed
to. You want me to refer you as Latino or Latina or Hispanic?
The thing is,
you know what I mean?
The thing is with that, it's not supposed to throw y'all off. The person really confused here is that person saying that they're white. You know, when they're blacker than my fucking iPhone and they're saying that, yo, I'm white, you know, that's supposed to throw that's actually, that person is not saying something that's logically makes sense. You know what I mean? It's because
and that's the shit that got me in a comical way. Like, I was laughing about it, but I wasn't like making fun of it. You know what I'm saying? About how
So
people
what you
feel. But I
gotta
was
what
like,
you
to
gotta
myself,
understand what you gotta understand is in the Latin community, we uphold the Spaniard very high. Why? Because the Spaniards enslaved us, they beat us, they raped us, but guess what? They actually took good care of us. You know why? Because the people that they were rape and the offspring that they will come out in the English, they were still saying, okay, that's my kid, from the slave master and from a slave. You're still a slave. Get your, mulatto ass back in that field, But the Spanish said, this is where the trick comes. The Spanish said, nah, you're
that
actually.
That should actually happen?
Yeah, the Spanish said, no, you're actually family. That's exactly what the Spanish said. You're actually family. So what we're going to do is we're going to, we're going to give you a better position. You're going to become the overseers for your own family. So what ended up these mulatto, offsprings ended up doing? They ended up actually saying that, okay, I'm with Massa. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Massa. Even though he owns me, though he owns me.
Ideology.
Yeah, the ideology.
Okay.
The ideology keeps on going down.
It's like a pimped out brainwash society.
Yeah, that's the ideology keeps on.
I'm digging.
Yeah, it keeps on coming down and down and down and down to the point where you got Dominican women telling their little kids they gotta straighten their nappy hair because it's more European. Like you gotta be more European. You got bettering the race. Crazy. Stupid shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So
that takes away. But you know what? That takes away the whole authenticity of the country, bro.
Well, of course,
it's the natural essence of people. You know what I mean? That's why I love to travel.
Yeah.
Some people will hate on me for traveling. I travel for a peace of mind, bro.
And that's that's another thing.
Spiritually connect with.
That's another thing that I wanna really get into. I was seeing some comments on other people's joint talking about, well, black people, they travel like to bang out women and all this other bullshit. And
who doesn't?
Yeah, but this is
which race don't bang out women? Come on, man. Like,
that's a fact. That's a fact. But this
white people banging out women.
But this is my thing. Now let me ask you this.
There's even gay people that bang out women.
No, you're right. Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this because if you really look at the numbers, black folks don't really travel like that. Let's keep it real. Black folks don't really travel like that. So
because we can't afford it.
So now I'm gonna ask you. Whenever you go to these Latin American countries, the Caribbean, how many black folks and white folks do you see in that plane?
Okay, on some real shit.
Yep. Go ahead.
Honestly, I see more white people that travel out there.
Exactly. That's all. That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say. Now that's all you.
I don't see a lot of black people.
Guess what?
I don't.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say. This is the reason. This is the point that I asked you that is because you see, some of these people talking about, oh well, you go to these people going to other countries, they're banging out. Well, the real people who are really going out there are these fucking Europeans. Are these people who are actually not only paying for women, the local women to have sex, but they're actually paying for younger women, even little boys. You know what I'm saying? Look at the biggest person that died, Epstein. He had a whole fucking island full of these motherfuckers. You don't see a black person going out there just a shipment full of underage girls and little boys. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that. So with that whole, concept, just
I'm gonna tell you this though. I'm gonna be truthful right here. Right? I'm gonna tell you this. They're trying to promote that though, that a lot of black guys go over there because they're trying to get more black men to go over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But really and truly, there's not a lot of black people that go there.
Oh yeah, of course.
White people.
And the funny,
because when I went out there, I met more white people that are from. Oh, I'm from England. I'm from Scotland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit! Like,
and the funny thing,
even when I went to Costa Rica, same shit.
You know what I see when I see people talking about, well, all these black men want to go out there and bang out women and all this other bullshit.
Ain't a lot of black men out there.
You want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny? I see that as that whole when white people were calling black men are rapists. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see that as.
That's crazy.
I said, what?
That's
Wait a
crazy.
minute. You know, you feel what I'm talking about? You know what
Well,
I'm
I mean, that's a heavy title to hold on, man. You're gonna have to have a lot of proof if you think that all black men are racist. I mean, are rapists or
well,
whatever.
that's how I see it when I see these people talk. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
it's a heavy title, man. You gotta have some big facts on that.
Well, why do they only just talk about black men? Why do they not focus
I
on
mean,
the
If they want to talk about, the thing about it is, if they talk about all black men started as rapists and stuff, you could really take that down in generations of history, and it will tell you your master was the one that taught you how to be
a rapist?
a master.
Yeah.
Exactly. You was a student. We were all students in the game. We were all pimped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's fucked up, but I mean, the truth is, man, we were all pimped out by media. Media wants to portray us to be something that we shouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You're right.
And that's what they like, man. They like fuckery. They like dumb shit.
Yeah. All right. Before we wrap it up, man, let these people know where to find you, bro.
Yeah, y'all can check me out at Andrew26101 show. I usually put out a lot of dating videos or some videos that if you need some help, or I'm not a relationship guru or nothing like that, but I just, speak on my current and also my previous experiences dealing with women. So it's usually like a guy's channel, try to help out. I also do shows like, for instance, like news articles, like some crazy shit that's going down. Well, y'all check my video out.
What about Instagram? You want to put your Instagram out?
Oh, yeah. You can follow me at Bronx Kid _420. Yeah.
All right, and all of the links for his YouTube and Instagram is gonna be in the description down below, bro. Listen, thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much for coming in, bro.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on the show, bro.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace. All right, so that was the interview with Andrew 26101 show. The Andrew show. Everything that you guys want to find is going to be in the description down below. All the links to his YouTube channel, go subscribe to that. To his Instagram, go, follow him on that. You know what I'm saying? And also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the same name, radical_Latino_. And also, you guys can support me in this mission. I'm out here, I'm out here like a preacher. You know what I mean? I'm out here spreading the word. You know what I'm saying? You could support me on Cash App with $ Radical Latino. Radical, one word, Latino, one word. Send your boy $5 or whatever. All right? Catch you guys later. Peace.